All right, so here's my take on Citizen Vigilante. It's been in the news, um, and I'll just say this. If you've watched Uwe Boll's work before, and who hasn't seen at least part of one or more of his video game adaptations, you know what to expect. Goofy gore, gratuitous violence, random sexual content, etc. There's also some odd pacing, plus flashbacks and flash forwards that you can kind of piece together by the end, but they're still weirdly stitched together. Uh, and the central premise is born of a valid enough concern, but it's also a twofold one. On the one hand, there is the problem of people with foreign values and culture causing pain and suffering where they go to ostensibly seek refuge. And I know we have crime from among our own populace in the West. But here's a good question, though. Why should we import more? If we already have more than we can handle, why do we need more? The second concern arises from this entire problem, and that is Hammer's character, Sanders. I don't consider him a hero, and anyone who does misses the point of him entirely. I'm not even sure he's meant to depict a single individual, but rather an archetype. His personality is so warped and twisted that thinking of him as some sort of ultra-nationalist that always manages to outmaneuver the police is just lazy reasoning. To me, he represents an inevitable result and a necessary evil that will actually manifest in force if something else isn't done. Now, every time some instance of egregious violence is in the news and the name or face or details of the perpetrator are held back, we already know exactly why without being told. When examples of how we've created a problem for ourselves keep cropping up, and the first reaction from those in power is to worry over potential blowback against people of a given demographic, it grates on the part of reasonable people that believes in justice over political correctness. Now, the film, for all its silly and over-the-top components, isn't some kind of romp or right-wing fantasy. It's a warning, a dire one. It's a warning that Western people have been cowed and educated into practicing restraint, showing empathy, and having guilt over their history as colonists and conquerors. And yet those darker parts of our nature have not been completely stripped away. They will, in fact, be forced back to the surface and into practice when the pressure grows high enough. Now, the patience shown up to this point is nothing short of astounding when one considers how little inducement the peoples of Europe once required to go to war against each other and brutally subjugate those of other lands outside of their own. The problem is that in making a genuine effort to grow past all of that, these facets have been suppressed for so long that if and when that genie is again released from the bottle, there isn't going to be an easy method of capping it back inside. Now, the message is it's become increasingly apparent that the social contract is in tatters. Best for those in power now to sort this out before enough of the people get truly fed up. Because at that point, laws and police aren't going to stop them from seeking true justice and righting the ship themselves.